The Eitz Chaim, you know, the tree of life that is the model for Kabbalah, and the 10 sephirots, like fruits on the tree of life, is actually a code word for the penis. The tree in Eitz is a penis. It's as simple as that. In French, when they used to say about a person who had a strong erection, he was dur comme un arbre, hard, strong, like a tree. Also, the word now, even today, when people are born here in the United States, sometimes they plant a tree in Israel for them. This offspring, so to speak, of the phallus, the penis. And strangely enough, I looked up in the thing today, they charge $18 to plant this sapling, this tree. 18 is chai, which comes out of yesod. And the chai is the root of the chaim, etza chaim, of life. And when you think of it, it's the organ of life. Eitz is the organ of life. It's a tree. Remember, you can't translate these kind of things. Strangely enough, the normative gematria of Eitz is ayin and zedek, 70 and 90, and that's 160. That 160 is also the root of Kayin. It's 160. And of Zelem, which I've been doing a lot of work with. So all this comes from the Eitz, the tree of life, in the midst of the garden. And you are the garden. So, this is a very big deal, by the way, because, you know, the Arizal's big work is Eitz Chaim, tree of life. And you know, that's the picture everybody takes of the 10 sephirots. And of that tree of life, then we have a juice, which is a meat, a juice, which comes also from sucking, because you like suck the juice out, and that's also like a matzitza hadam, of the bris. Now, what does it mean if this is the tree of life that you remember that basically Adam and Eve and the snake ate from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, and the tree of life, they kept it away, and if you much reach and your hand touches, well, it has to do with, in my opinion, that the tree of knowledge of good and evil is a duality tree. In other words, it's a man and woman, or today man and man, or woman and woman, or whatever. And that's a two-part. That's a das of Tovara. It's a two-part. It's a duality tree. But the tree of life is a singularity tree. It's a chayim. You reach it and touch forever. In other words, for me, it's the Ouroboros. It's the snake which was standing. He was still standing. He wasn't cut down yet. He was vertical, you see. He was vertical. He wasn't cut down yet when he had the sin with Hava. But then, after the sin, he's put down onto the ground. And so now the snake, and in a certain sense, to become Mashiach, and for the person to become Mashiach, for the Adam to become Mashiach, he has to become an Ouroboros. It's not vertical anymore. It's circular. And what is this Adamah? The Adamah, by the way, because it comes up in other things, so this is just for my own notes here. There's a conceptual difference between the Adamah and the Eretz. Eretz is kind of like, for me, Malkus, and Adamah is Bina, and Adamah has to do with Gan Eden, and Eretz has to do with Olam Hazeh, or the physical, non-Gan Eden. But the whole idea here is that the juice of the fruit is the semen. It makes sense, doesn't it? The juice is the fruit, and that's his meats. I don't even want to do the gematria of it, but it can come out to 314 in a certain way. Meats, and that was Shaddai. That's kind of like for the mezuzah. But when you reach out and you touch, you become an Ouroboros. So the whole secret here is to change from a verticality to a circularity. That the individual has to be self-sufficient, and that's what the Ouroboros shows, that the tail is in the mouth, you see, and he feeds on himself, so to speak. And this is evident here when one recognizes that the tree of life itself is the penis. And that at the end, that's why we were banished from Gan Eden, because if you reach and eat from the tree of life, you live forever. Now, living forever is a very strange thing. Living forever means that you live in the moment, see, without thought of the future or worry of the past. And that presence is beyond life. Live forever means when you don't protect yourself from death. You see? So in this time of the coronavirus, everybody protecting themselves from death, living forever means to not protect yourself from death. And this is, as I say, it's brought down in so many ways, meaning die before you die, the death before death, to be born again, the samurai warrior code. And it's the idea of that being in the present moment. You expand and receive and acknowledge and perceive energies that are subtle energies within the body structure. And this all comes from the recognition of the tree as the penis, of the tree of life as the penis. And again, it's always hidden in plain sight, because the whole symbol of Kabbalah is the tree of life. Hello, it's the penis. So they're telling you. So instead of this mystical kind of thing, The penis is the secret. And this is kind of obvious.